Well, first of all, I want to say alhamdulillah. Arsenal have dropped points. Arsenal have conceded goals. And it's always great when a hate watch goes successfully, because it hasn't gone successfully for quite some time when I watch Arsenal. So I've literally just finished watching that game and I've made this video. So it's put me in a much better mood. But let's talk about what I'm here to talk about. And that's Manchester United. That's today's game against Spurs. 2-2. Another fucking 2-2. Literally an identical game almost. Going 1-0 up. Then going 2-1 down. And then rescuing a point. Where do I start with this? All week, I went on Straight Facts on Tuesday. It seems to be a regular slot of mine. Thankfully, I really enjoy it. I really enjoy going on there. So hopefully I continue. And when I went on there, I made the point that I think in the summer, when Wilcox made the decision, he had already signed Mbeumo, he had already signed Cunha. It was what's next. We can either get a midfielder or a striker, yeah? I posted that clip on my page here, so most of you have probably seen it. He's decided to go all out for a striker because he's thinking, listen, if I can get as many goals as I can in this team, we'll do okay. I see the thought process. I'm not even going to knock the thought process. I made a video in the summer when it was the choice between Sesko, Watkins, right? You all know what I wanted. I wanted Osimhen. That was my number one choice, right? He's banged a hat-trick the other day against Ajax for Galatasaray. 2 of them were penalties, but the guy's relentless. Go and watch the highlights. He makes his own chances, this guy. And it's exactly what we need at Manchester United. But anyway, I wanted Osimhen. Second choice was Gyökeres. I really thought Amorim could pull some strings and get his boy. We didn't get either. So then the choices were Sesko or Watkins. I was scratching my head thinking, I don't really fancy Watkins. And I feel like Sesko's another Højlund, another mistake, another gamble. Can't afford to take the gamble. Fuck me, I swear, I'd rather have Harry Kane. I didn't mention it at the time because I didn't think it's possible, right? So I had to look at the market and I was like, who the hell's available that we could potentially get? And I made a video, I posted it here, I came up with Darwin Núñez. And I know, realistic is that? Well, at the time I thought it was, and the reason for that is Liverpool were desperate to get rid of him, right? Because they needed to get Isak in. We saw that drama in the summer, right? I think he went for 40 million, something like that in the end. I may be wrong. But in my thought process, in my mind, and I said this in that video, but I'm going to bring it up fresh because I've got a load of more subscribers since then. Not many more, but more. Amorim was very successful with that type of striker, Gyökeres. Darwin Núñez is similar to Gyökeres in that sense. Powerful, strong, runs the channels, tenacious, can score goals from anything. That's the truth. And I know he wasn't successful at Liverpool in that system, that free forward system. But he was fucking brilliant at Benfica. And I know that because I'm Portuguese and my dad supports Benfica. He also supports Man United and that's why I do. It's what he taught me and I'm glad he did. But I watched a lot of Darwin Núñez at Benfica. And if you watch Darwin Núñez against Liverpool, and that's why they signed him, it was Benfica versus Liverpool, he was sensational. So in my thought process, I'm going on a little bit about this, but I just wanted to clear it up. Amorim could get the best out of this guy. And I'd rather take the gamble on someone that's produced something like he's produced at Benfica in the hope he could produce similar for Manchester United in a system that suits him a bit more than take a gamble on Watkins or Sesko. Simple maths. We fast forward to today. Sesko doesn't start again. Which shows this manager does not fancy this guy. This manager does not like what he brings. That's what I feel. You've spent 70 odd million on a striker. But you're starting with a false 9 all the time. And the reason he starts with a false 9, I've seen it now. I've saw it from before but confirmed it today. Is he feels like we pressure better, we get the ball back better, we defend better as a team. Literally, we defend as a team, we attack as a team when we've got a false 9. The minute Sesko came on, fuck me, we completely lost the game. Like we had no control, we weren't defending the same from the front. And that's why he doesn't fancy Sesko. Which makes you think, did you choose to sign this fella? I don't think he did. No, I don't. I think managers have lost that what's the word? I think managers have lost that perk at Manchester United where they get to have a say in who signs who after what Ten Hag did to the team. So I don't blame the hierarchy for doing that. But you see Sesko come on. I feel bad for the geezer. But he's been put through twice. And fluffed his lines fucking twice. Maybe he's injured, but you think to yourself, he's fluffed his lines. He's come off injured. I'm not sure how he got injured. I feel sorry for the kid, but it's almost like he fucking shit himself. It's almost like he's like, oh, do you know what? I can't fucking take this. It's almost like he's seen the media all week, and I get it. I'm part of that media. I am. I went on the football terrace and said the geezer was a lamppost. I said it. Because the truth is, in the debate I had on the football terrace, I said Xerxes, and I said this in my last video here, Xerxes provides everything this fella provides, and more. But yet Xerxes didn't have a fucking sniff today, guys. And then Sesko blimps off, leaves us with 10 men. Granted, he might be injured. I look at Xerxes on the bench and think, listen, if Sesko's not having a good time under him, and you don't fancy him, give Xerxes a run out. Would Xerxes have hit the target on one of those chances? Would Xerxes have maybe played a final pass on that first chance? Or that second chance when he was clean through? Would Xerxes have at least hit the target? I tell you, he would have smashed that first time, Darwin Núñez. But Xerxes would have done better with it. Oh my God, I know this is tough. I know this is a tough one because Sesko's only just come to the team and you do have to support these players. And I do hope he comes good. But you do scratch your head and think, we spent all that money on Højlund, it didn't work out. We've gone and got ourselves another gamble, another Højlund. It was my worry in the summer. And listen, the game's not all about Sesko, but I mean, he had chances, and this is why he's brought in. This is why he's brought in to deliver on these chances. And when I call the geezer a lamppost, the truth is I don't see much from him. His touch isn't the best. His link-up play, I'm being told, is great. No, I don't see it. I've seen Xerxes do way more link-up play. His dribbling's not fantastic. Doesn't look the strongest. He's great at winning headers. He's a fucking lamppost. That's what I've seen so far. And you know, Arsenal just drew. I'm in a tough place at the moment because Man United, they were awful. And it has improved. Facts, it has improved. But now we're mediocre. And I look at this league table and I think, for fuck's sake, we went 1-0 up against Forest. We went 1-0 up against Spurs. Go get that second goal. Go get that second goal. If we didn't have a donkey up front, he went up front for the majority of the game. He got subbed on. But if we could control the game more, if we had got a midfielder maybe, go get that second goal. I mean, I haven't looked at the table, but we would be 4 points better off. How close would we be to fucking first place? And I know it's what ifs, and I'm not, I get knocked for saying what ifs because I was slating everyone. I was slating Terry from the football Terry for telling me, what if Cunha scored this? What if Mbeumo scored this? When the results weren't great, I was like, fuck the what ifs. We didn't fucking score. So it works both ways. I get that, but oh my God, if we had had some points, if we had won these games, which we were very capable of doing, we could be close to the top of the league here. We could be close to Arsenal, who have been fantastic. And we could be bang in the middle of a fairy tale. But the truth is, we've gone from awful, and I'm thinking we're going to go from awful and just create a fairy tale. That's not realistic, is it? It's not. We're now mediocre. We would have lost that game against Nottingham Forest last year. We would have lost that game against Spurs last year. So this is where it is. It's just hit me like a light bulb. He's taken us from awful to mediocre. And instead of crumbling in these games, which we kind of did, we're getting last gasp winners and getting a point from it. And we have to celebrate that. We're mediocre. We got our manager. You saw my last video. It was brief. It was yesterday. We got our manager celebrating with his whole blazing fucking squad, his whole S Club 7. His Manager of the Month award. just the standards have gone into the gutter with this team. And listen, at least Spurs haven't beaten us 5 times in a row, but I'm gutted with today. I'm gutted with today. We should have won. And shout out Ahmad, he had a decent game. I was fucking knocking the geezer. Like I said, listen, here's the argument with that. Let me explain that too. I don't believe Ahmad was great today. I said this in the summer. We should not got rid of Anthony. Because if Ahmad's not playing well, or if Ahmad's injured, our replacements in that position are not fantastic. Mazraoui is decent, but he's not gonna give what Ahmad gives in regards to going forward. Whereas Anthony, with confidence, with the way he was playing at Betis, as a backup plan, would have been fantastic. And that's what I said on the Football Terrace this week. There's nothing Ahmad can do that Anthony couldn't do. Couldn't, he could play that role the same way. But fair play. Ahmad was fantastic today. He assisted the goal, almost assisted Bruno for a chance that Bruno should have put away. He was poor today. Ugarte came on. Casemiro, fair play to him. He's been playing well for us. Ugarte came on. I mean, Ruben Amorim used to have him at Sporting, and they sold him to PSG, and then he's come to us. Ruben Amorim, I mean, I thought maybe he'll get the best out of Ugarte. Oh, mate, what a shocking signing. Bear in mind, we let Scott McTominay go and got this fella in. Whether you think he was a straight replacement or not, we let go of a midfielder and we brought this midfielder in. What a shocking bit of business. That's nothing to do with Ruben Amorim, but what a shocking bit of business that was. Shocking bit of business. And I tell you what, who might be in that bracket too, Sesko. He doesn't look like he's got the minerals for the league. He doesn't look like he's got the minerals to wear the shirt. You can really see it with players when they don't have the balls for it. You can really see it. And I watch how other players are with him. He's there closing things down and that. I see players clapping him and that. You know when you got a bit of personality, you know when you got a bit of pride, you know when you got something about you, players don't even clap you because they know you don't need it. You don't need the encouragement. You're about it. You're about your business. You close things down because you've got pride, because you know what time it is. Top players, they never get clapped. Why? You don't need to clap him. They don't need morale boosting. I see players clapping Sesko for running after things after. Which shows me they know his confidence is low. Shows me that his head is down. He's not got much about him. I feel sorry for him, but we have got no time for this shit anymore. We've got no time for people to come here and build their characters anymore. We need players like Mbeumo, players like Cunha. People telling me Cunha had a bad game today. He was just trying to do a bit too much today. A little bit too much today. Usually he releases it exactly when he needs to release it. But today, one or two more touches than he needed to. That's what it was today. He was just giving the ball away a bit too much, doing a bit of a Bruno. Bruno weren't excellent either. Anyway, I could talk all day about the game. You guys are very educated. You know what time it is. I'd rather talk about the straight points, the issues, and what's going down. The truth is, guys, and we established it earlier, we've gone from awful to mediocre. And let's hope it trends up to average, and from average to decent, and to decent. Maybe that's the journey. Maybe that's the realistic journey. But when you see the money spent, right? When you see the money spent, when you actually see the team sheet, you think, you know, we were awful because of fucking the way we were being coached, the way the team's being put together. But once you've got one game a week, once you're coached properly, surely, if we're good enough, if we could string some results together, we could do something special this year. Maybe that's me being delusional. I don't know who to blame anymore. I don't know, mate. I don't know where we're at. Truth is, that's 5 games without a loss. That's win, 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 draw, draw. I would have bit your hand off for that. I think we've got Everton next. It's never a given. David Moyes is never a given. We need to get a W there, though, don't we? We need to get a W there. Anyway, guys, it's a shame. Arsenal dropped points today. And some of you may be watching this laughing, thinking, what do you mean Arsenal dropped points? Nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with us. Nothing to do with Man United. But man, Had we beat Nottingham Forest, which we quite easily could have done, fucking had 3 managers this year already, they have. Had we beat Spurs today, which we could have done, we would be right bang in it. We would be right in it. And momentum builds, confidence builds. Oh my God, the board might think, fuck it, let's go in January and fucking get a midfielder. I don't know how the FFP or whatever the hell you call it is going for United at the moment. I'm not a numbers man, so don't talk to me about that. But we could, I've said it a million times, we could have been right bang in it. I'm fucking disappointed and I'm gutted. But the bigger picture is we've gone from awful to mediocre. So I guess that's progress. Anyway, guys, please like, subscribe, comment as you usually do. I shall catch you on the next one. See you soon.